I'm ready for that.
Good morning.
Good, lovely birthday morning.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Pensacola. We'll now look at our slide of shared values. I'm going to read those in case you can't see them. Generosity, transformation, equity, pluralism, interdependence, and justice. My name is Laura Keith King, and I'm your service leader this morning. I'm a member of this church. I serve on a bunch of different ministry teams, and one of them is Sunday services, so here I am. If you're new to this church, you know that every Sunday we have a different speaker. We have some repeat speakers that we have on occasion, and I will introduce Teresa Everett in more detail later. She is one of our often welcomed speakers.
And love. And love too.
She is welcome, and you are all very welcome, whether it's your first time here or whether you've been coming here every Sunday for 30 years. We are very happy to see you. Please take a moment and turn to someone near you and say, "We are happy to see you."
We're happy to see double both of y'all. We're happy to see double both of y'all. Happy to see you. Happy to see you. With the jingle.
All right, come back, y'all. Come back. I love to see everyone welcoming each other.
Happy to see you.
Let's see, if you don't have a name tag and if you would want one, sign up on the credenza on that side of the foyer. If you are new and you would like to receive our weekly emails telling you what's happening, you can find a little guest card. And hopefully from one of our greeters you will have received. Here it is, one of these. And we have them in black and white if you want to take one home. And this is what the guest card looks like. Wait. There we go. Please join us afterwards. We have refreshments every Sunday, and it's a great way to meet your friends and your people. We know these are going to be your people. We have many announcements, so I will try to do each one of them justice. This is the last Sunday to sign up for the Ice Flyers hockey game. Tickets are $20, and it's happening on Friday, November 14th. See Mary Beth to sign up. Mary Beth has got her hand up there, wearing the blue-green sweater or shirt. Sunday, November 23rd, after the service, is our annual Thanksgiving meal. Turkey and ham will be provided. Please bring a side dish to share. And also, see Mary Beth for details. And we will be very well fed, but a lot of people in our community right now are not being very well fed. Manna Food Pantry is really experiencing a lot of traffic, as you can imagine, with many paychecks not being distributed and many layoffs. They need canned foods. Their food's going out the minute it comes in. So we collect food here. If you don't know, there's a basket, and we'd love to have you bring food next time, especially canned goods. Also, there's a group called the Overflow Health Alliance. My allergies are terrible.
I know.
You can tell. The Overflow Health Alliance provides critical resources to assist and stabilize our homeless population. Please donate any of their most needed items either in the collection box in the foyer or by seeing Heather Cobb. And if you want to know what those most needed items are, and you probably do, and if you want further information, see the collection box or the announcement board. We will be honoring some of our dearly departed people at this service, but one of them has not yet had her celebration of life. May O'Shea recently left us, and the celebration of her life will be November 9th, that's next Sunday, noon here after the service. And please let Jack Comstock or Linda Cobb know if you plan on attending. They will be in the foyer after church. And also, after church today at 11:30, we have a second hour of What Can I Do? And the topic is censorship and freedom of speech in the military. And we'll have a special guest. I'm not sure if she's here yet. Oh, yeah, there they are. There's Mimi, Antonielli, and Adam. And they will be telling us about that and telling us about 50501 Pensacola and what that is. I could tell you, but you hear me all the time. So she's going to talk to us. And Honor will also be with us to tell us other things that we can do. And Honor's back there, but you'll see them later. Last week, 15 of our fellow members of UUCP attended the JUST, J-U-S-T for Justice, Pensacola Problem Assembly at St. Christopher's Episcopal Church. We joined with network members of 18 other congregations and voted on what our next Just Pensacola project should be. The choice was made by Democratic Voice for Mental Health. This is an area in grave need of justice work. If you would like to be part of the research team, or even if you want to see how the research process works, please put November 18th on your calendar for the kickoff. There will be more announcements about time and place, and if you have questions, see Paula, her hand is up over there. Oh my, this is a long one. Do you want to get to know other UUs? Of course you do. How about enjoying some adult conversation or a stimulating evening? Circle dinners are your answer. Circle dinners align with UU principles affirming human worth, dignity, compassion, and acceptance of another, plus they're fun. They're a wonderful opportunity to meet and get to know your fellow UUs. There will be a kickoff party in January, followed by dinners in February, March, and April. The host will decide on a convenient date by conferring with those assigned. The 6 assigned people will provide the food, and the host may invite 2 new UU members or others from the church he or she would like to know better. And if you have questions, please see Linda Cobb at the back. She is raising her hand. And Ed and I have had a great time at those, so I hope you all will sign up. All right, that's the end of our announcements for today. You're going to need your, nope, your yes, no, yes. I need, yes, you do. Oh, it's number 29 in the Lifting Your Voices, and Teresa and I are going to read this. Thank you, Teresa. Mine is like buried in here. This is why I usually use a notebook. You who are brokenhearted, who woke today with the winds of despair whistling through your mind, come in.
You who are brave but wounded, limping through life and hurting with every step, come in.
You who are fearful, who live with shadows hovering over your shoulders, come in.
This place
is
a
sanctuary,
and
it is for you. You who are filled with happiness, whose abundance overflows, come in.
You who walk through your world with lightness and grace, who awoke this morning with strength and hope, you who have everything to give, come in.
This place is your calling, a riverbank to channel the sweet waters of your life.
The place where you are called by the world's needs. Here we offer love.
Here we receive in gratitude. Here we make a circle from the great gifts of breath, attention, and purpose. Come in. And now our musicians will give us some centering music. Every week we light our chalice, which is a very symbolic flame for us, and Reverend Everett will light the chalice after I say these words. And please join me in the responses which are on the screen. In times of darkness, we stumble toward the tiny flame. In times of cold, we seek the warming fire. In times of repression, we reach for the lamp of truth. In times of loss, we pray for a comforting light. In times of joy, we light a candle of celebration, of life. As we kindle this light, help us find what we need for this day. And now, if you are willing and able, you may stand, and we're going to sing Turn, Turn, Turn. And the choir will come up to assist us singing.
Everything
And now, please join me in reciting our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. All right, you may be seated. While we are collecting our offering, the choir is going to come back up. Did I tell you to sit down? No, I did not. We're going to sing a little song called "The Ghost is John." But please, when you see the basket, remember that all of us make this church operate. We don't get funding from elsewhere. It's all on us. Many of us donate automatically through our checking accounts each month, and so that's also an option. The ways that you can donate if you don't have any cash are up there on the screen. Now the choir may be seated. This is our time each week where we share our joys and sorrows and our concerns. And this is the time when we talk about something that is personal to us. We will also light a candle for all of the stuff that's going on in the nation and in the world. We'll light one candle for that. And while we're doing that, you may come up if you have something to share. We'll make a line on each side and we'll offer you the microphone. Please say who you are, and we will light a candle for each of your joys and each of your sorrows and concerns. it is the time for all ages. And we are all ages. Maybe not so many really young folks here today, but this is a story that everyone will enjoy. And it relates to the end of our time on this earth. It's called Cry Heart But Never Break, and it's by Glenn Ringtved and illustrated by Charlotte Pardee. In the far north, in a small, snug house, 4 children lived with their beloved grandmother, a kindly woman. She had cared for them for many years. Now she had a visitor. Not wishing to frighten the children, the visitor had left his scythe outside the door. For those who don't know what a scythe is, it's a long, long blade used to cut grass or grain, and it's a symbol of the angel of death. All the same, even though they didn't see the scythe, they knew it was death. Nels, the oldest, and his sister Sonia closed their eyes, heavy with sorrow. Casper, who was younger, tried to ignore the visitor. But Leah, the youngest, who was always getting into trouble, stared straight at death. In the quiet, the children could hear their grandmother upstairs, breathing with the last raspy breaths as the figure at the table. They knew death had come for her, and the time was short. Since everyone knows death's only friend is night, the children quickly made a plan. They would keep death away from their grandmother by giving him coffee all through the night. At dawn, he would have no choice but to leave without her. So every time Death emptied his cup, Nels would ask, "More coffee, sir?" And Death would nod. Death loved his coffee, strong and black like the night, and he was happy to sit and rest for a while. Time passed. Finally, Death was ready. He placed his bony hand over his cup to signal no more. Then Leah, who had been watching Death all night, reached out and took his hand. "Oh, Death," she said, "our grandmother is so dear to us. Why does she have to die?" Some people say Death's heart is dead and black as a piece of coal, but that is not true. Beneath his inky cloak, Death's heart is as red as the most beautiful sunset and beats with a great love of life. Death wanted to help the children understand. So he said, "I would like to tell you a story." And in a strong, sweet voice, he began to speak. "Once upon a time, so long ago that only I can remember, there lived 2 brothers. One was called Sorrow, the other Grief. Woeful and sad, they moved up and down their gloomy valley. They went slowly and heavily, and because they never looked up, they never saw through the shadows to the top of the hills. At the top of those hills, there lived 2 sisters, Joy and Delight. They were bright and sunny, and their days were full of happiness. The only shadow was their sense that something was missing. They didn't know what, but they felt they couldn't truly enjoy their happiness. Death saw Leah nodding and said, "I think you can guess what happened next." One day, the brothers and sisters met. Sorrow fell instantly in love with Delight, and she with him. It was the same for Grief and Joy. Each couldn't live without the other. After their double wedding and a great celebration, the two couples moved into neighboring houses halfway up and halfway down the hill. This way, the distance to their old homes was the same. They all lived to be very old. When the time came to die, grief and joy did so on the same day, as did sorrow and delight. Their happiness together had been so great, they couldn't live without each other. That's a good story, said Nels. It is the same with life and death, Death said. What would life be worth if there were no death? Who would enjoy a sun if it never rained? Who would yearn for day if there was no night? The children weren't sure they had understood Death fully, but somehow they knew he was right. At last, Death stood up. It was time to go upstairs. A line of pale gray was edging away the night. Casper wanted to stop Death, but Nels held him back. No, Nels said. Life is moving on. This is how it must be. Moments later, the children heard the upstairs window open. Then, in a voice somewhere between a cry and a whisper, Death said, Fly, soul, fly away. The children hurried upstairs. They tiptoed into their grandmother's room. Grandmother had died. The curtains were blowing in the gentle morning breeze. Looking at the children, Death said quietly, Cry, heart, but never break. Let your tears of grief and sadness help begin new life. Then he was gone. Ever after, whenever the children opened a window, they would think of their grandmother, and when the breeze caressed their faces, they could feel her touch. In the years that followed, the children lived with their joy and their sorrow, but they always remembered Death's words and took comfort from their hearts, which grieved and cried, but never broke. Now we have come to the time in our service today when we are going to honor our dearly departed. These are the folks who have been close to us this year, but who have passed away this year. Evelyn Jackson and May O'Shea, May whose celebration of life is next Sunday. Their spirits have passed from this earth, and each of these two people were valuable and cherished members of our congregation for many years. With this candle, we remember Evelyn Jackson, and with this other candle, we remember May O'Shea. And now we will do responsive reading number 721 in your hymnal. 721, it's at the back of your hymnal. (721) In the struggles we choose for ourselves, in the ways we move forward in our lives and bring our world forward with us,
it is right to remember the names of those who gave us strength in the choice of living. It is right to name the power of our lives well lived.
we share a history with those lives. We belong to the same motion.
They too were strengthened by what had gone before. They too were drawn on by the vision of what might come to be.
those who lived before us, who struggled for justice and suffered injustice before us, have not melted into the dust and have not disappeared.
They are with us still. The lives they lived hold us steady.
Their words remind us and call us back to ourselves. Their courage and love evoke our own.
We, the living,
Carry them with us. We are their voices, their hands, and their hearts. And all together, let us name those who lend strength in our lives. In your mind, think of those who have loaned strength to us. And it is now my great pleasure to introduce Teresa Everett. She is a certified and licensed lay preacher, worship and Eucharist minister, and pastoral care leader at her church at St. Augustine Episcopal Church in Navarre, within the Episcopal Diocese of the Central Gulf Coast, where she serves regularly as a preacher and worship leader and coordinates the pastoral care and lay Eucharist team for the greater Navarre community and beyond. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Teresa Everett.
May the words from my mouth and the meditations from my heart be acceptable to you, this wonderful and beautiful congregation. So today we're going to talk about something that you probably really don't think about. But before we get to that, happy belated Halloween.
You too.
Thank you. I hope everyone had a good one.
We did.
Wonderful. I hope everyone got a lot of candy, even though most of us are adults. I know that we get bags of candy a month before, and then all month long I sneak them, and then we don't have enough by the time the kids come. So anyway, I just hope that it's just not me that does that, and it's y'all. So Halloween is also known as All Hallows Eve, or All Saints' Eve. It's a celebration observed in many countries, and we know the date is October 31st. It is the eve of the Western Christian feast of All Hallows' Day. It's the beginning of the observance of All Hallowtide, the time in the Christian liturgical year dedicated to remembering the dead, including saints, hallows, martyrs, and all the faithfully departed. And if you haven't guessed yet, yes, it's a very early Roman Catholic tradition. The word Halloween is very old. Its roots go back to what we call Old English Halloween, and that means holy. And we know that through the centuries, the word hallow also became synonymous with saints. So it is the eve of the Day of Hallows, and through time, it becomes Halloween for us. And all of our traditions, way too many for me to stand up here and cite. But our Halloween tradition is fun, right? It's very fun. But as I started saying before, Halloween is something that we celebrate this weekend, and I mentioned the word All Hallowtide. So we also celebrate All Hallowtide. So, happy All Hallowtide. And that's what I said, happy All Hallowtide. And I bet that if you started saying that to people, no one would really have any idea what you mean, because we don't use that saying. We say Happy Halloween. But the 2 days following Halloween are also observed and celebrated. All Hallowtide is actually a traditional Christian observance spanning 3 days. All Saints' Eve, or All Hallows' Eve, Halloween, which is October 31st. All Saints' Day, or All Hallows' Day, which was yesterday, November 1st. And then today, All Souls' Day. Now, we just remembered these 2 beautiful women. So today, being All Souls' Day, we remember them, and we remember all the souls. It's a special day. So why do we have these days of observance? Is it just here in this country? Do other people around the world honor people who have passed? Before we get to that, let's take a very quick look at Halloween. Now, as I said before, we can spend hours talking about Halloween and all the traditions that we have. But Halloween traditions, some scholars say, were more than likely influenced by the Celtic harvest festivals. Now, I have a slide up here that briefly talks about the Celts and just about a bit who they were. We mainly think of them as being different tribes in the British Isles, but they were in different areas all over mainland Europe. But we have a tendency to remember the British or the Gaelic Celts because of Halloween. Now, the Celts divided their year in halves, the light half and the dark half. So can you guess which months might be the light and the dark? Well, if you guess that the light half were the spring and summer months, you're right, the days were longer and the nights were shorter. And of course, the dark half was the opposite. It was the fall and winter months. Colder nights, shorter days. So to mark the end of summer, the Celts of Ireland and Britain, and in some parts of France, held a harvest known as Samhain. And that festival was steeped in superstition and fear of evil. And it was around the end of October. And they felt there was a thin line, a thin veil between life and death. And once the Celtic people started to adopt Christianity and what we call the Julian calendar, the festival then fell on October 31st. Now, it begins at sunset on the 31st and then ends on November 1st. And as I said, that night on October 31st, the boundaries between the living and the dead were blurred, allowing spirits to return. That's what their belief was. So the people lit bonfires so they could see the spirits and ward them off. And they also wore costumes. Sound familiar? Yeah. To ward off any wandering spirits. So why do we begin to celebrate All Saints' Day? Do you think it's related to Samhain or Halloween? It actually wasn't. But we think that it is because of where it falls on our calendar. Again, it's originally a Roman Catholic tradition. God bless those Catholics. Now, the Roman Catholic Church wanted to combat pagan worship. So in Italy, in 609, the Pantheon in Rome. Now, the Pantheon in Rome was used as a temple for all the Roman gods. And that's where they went to worship. So it was rededicated to saints. Later, in 735 CE, St. Peter's Basilica in Italy was dedicated to all saints by Pope Gregory III. And then the feast quickly spread throughout Europe as Christianity was accepted by more and more people. So, scholars suggest that the church intentionally changed the dates to November 1st because they needed to place the celebration near the time of the pre-Christian Celtic festivals. Remember, it's not just the British Isles, they were also through mainland Europe, because they needed to encourage a Christian alternative to pagan seasonal observances. So what's All Souls Day today? All Souls Day, which is always on November 2nd, commemorates the faithfully departed, as we talked about. And again, take a guess. Where did it originate? Yep, Roman Catholic Church. It's also celebrated in the Eastern Orthodox Church, but many other churches and denominations also celebrate it. So there's a whole history for All Souls Day. But what is it for us today? All Souls Day is seen by many faiths as one in which ecumenicism, meaning all faiths, are celebrated. That believers from all faiths should collectively visit cemeteries that are interdenominational in nature, and they should come together to clean, repair, and then decorate graveyards together. Ecumenical prayer services are often held at different interdenominational cemeteries on All Souls Day. I had the opportunity to experience the firsthand where I used to live in New York. There was a huge cemetery where we lived, and I was actually getting gas one day, and it was All Souls Day. And I happened to look over because it was on the street. And there was a group, a large group, a Latin American culture who were cleaning the graves. They had food. They had a feast they celebrated. But it's not just our Western culture that celebrates All Souls Days. Remember, I said, did the rest of the world do it? Many cultures celebrate it. Around the world, there are festivals intended to honor the dead. From Latin America to Southeast Asia to India. Like Samhain, some of them are linked to the change of seasons and the harvest. Like Chuseok in Korea and Chunben in Cambodia. While others may have the influence of Christianity spread by missionaries throughout the world. One of the examples is the Day of the Dead. But all honor all the souls in some way. As we reflect on the story that Laura shared with us earlier, we recognize that loss is never easy. So today, we set time aside to honor the souls of those who remember. Each one is unique. Each one is cherished. In this sacred moment, it's natural to feel a tapestry of emotions, to delight in memories. Sorrow, feel it for the absence. Grief, for what we have lost or may have lost, and joy for what remains in our hearts. All of these feelings are welcome here. They are fabrics and threads of love and remembrance. How you choose to honor those who have passed is deeply, deeply personal. Whether through quiet reflection, shared stories like mine, lighting a candle, or simply holding that memory close, please know that there is no right or no wrong. What matters is the love that endures. So let us move beyond fear and embrace celebration. Celebration of lives lived, of connections that transcend time, and of the light that continues to shine within us and around us. Happy All Souls Day. Happy All Hallowtide weekend. Amen, and blessed be.
May the choir come up. We're running about 5 minutes late. I hope that doesn't make anyone miss an airplane. Boy, still. Please stand if you're willing and able. We're going to sing hymn number 10, Immortal Love. Our closing words are by Kathleen McTee. And after I say these, please join us for refreshments, and don't forget our second hour at 11:30. May the light around us guide our footsteps and hold us fast to the best and most righteous that we seek. May the darkness around us nurture our dreams and give us rest so that we may give ourselves to the work of our world. Let us seek to remember the wholeness of our lives, the weaving of light and shadow in this great and astonishing dance in which we move. Go in peace.